Good morning to all the viewers of India and abroad for our international webinar series on open source digital technologies towards self-reliant India, Atamnirbhar Bharat, brought out by Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, a NAC accredited deemed to be university, by its Center of Excellence, Center for Informatics, Development Solutions and Applications, CIDSA. Open source digital technologies towards a self-reliant India, Atamnirbhar Bharat is one of our mission of the university. So far, we have organized 3 such international webinars. One is on open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure, held on 12th September, addressed by Dr. B. Balasubramanian, former Deputy Director General, National Informatics Center, head NIC Open Technology Center, Chennai. Second, address by Dr. V.K. Mishra, a veteran in open source technology, on 18th September 2020, on the topic, a roadmap for students using free and open source software and reaching goals of Atamnirbhar Bharat. The third talk by Dr. H.K. Sugas, former Deputy Director General, National Informatics Center, on 25th September 2020 on open source software and industrial IoTs for SMEs, small and medium enterprises of India. In general, the topics will include open infrastructure, open source software for open infrastructure, and open hardware for open infrastructure, human resources development, and startups. Atamnirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation, and based on 5 pillars, namely economy, on quantum jump, not incremental; infrastructure, one that represents modern India; systems, 21st century technology driven; vibrant demography, source of energy for self-reliant India; and demand, whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. This was announced on 15th May 2020 through a special and comprehensive economic package of rupees 20 lakh crore that accounts for 100% of India's GDP to bring the economy back on track. Vocal for local to make it global. A demand-based economic system which is self-producing and self-consuming. The reforms announced have been systematic, planned, integrated, interconnected, and futuristic for creating strong enterprises, generating employment, and robust supply chains. This is our interest. Open source digital technologies towards self-reliant India. We have seen 6 open source technologies that changed the whole world: Linux, Android, map overlay and statistical systems, MAS, WordPress, FOSS, Liferay. Top emerging open source technology. open source in machine learning, the R programming language, emerging trends in blockchain and Bitcoin, open source and the Internet of Things IoTs, open source and big data analytics, progressive web apps, open source and cyber security, open source and virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and now extended reality, open source and cloud computing. The best open source software which we have seen so far, LibreOffice, VLC media player, GIMP, it is an open source photo and image editing tool, Shortcut, Brave, Audacity, KeePass, Thunderbird, FileZilla, and Linux. The top 5 digital trends of 2020 is distributed and multi-cloud computing, 5G data, extended reality, hyper automation, and voice user interface. And open source is an extremely important aspect of digital India. In 2015, the then Department of Electronics and Information Technology, called DATE, of the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, released 3 major policies related to open source. These policies are quite comprehensive and potential game changer. Policy on adoption of open source software, policy on collaborative applications development by opening the source code of government applications, policy on open application programming interface, open APIs for Government of India, for promoting open standards for software interoperability across various government departments and agencies. Government of India has already notified the policy on open standards for e-governance and technical standards on interoperability framework for e-governance. And today, the topic is on open source technology, the free and open source software, FOSS, adoption and business models. The open source software movement has created some of our most important and widely used technologies, including operating systems, web browsers, and databases. While open source has delivered amazing technological innovations, commercial innovations, most recently and notably, the rise of software as a service has been just as vital to the success of the movement. Free and open source software, the major initiative by the Government of India, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, included National Open Resource Center for Free and Open Source Software. The milestone achieved so far, Bharat operating systems solutions, with participating agencies of Center for Development of Advanced Computing, Chennai, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Delhi, BC Research Center, Chennai, and IIT, Mumbai and Chennai. Research and development undertaken in the areas of software as a service stack delivery, service-oriented architecture, service-oriented kernel for Linux, GNU compiler collection, mobile applications on Android platform, enhancing accessibility of free and open software source software desktop for disabled persons, human resource development, online courses and certification. So far, India has got installation about 20 lakhs of Bharat operating system solution, which supports 18 Indian languages: Assamese, Bengali, Bodo, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Kongani, Maithili, Malayalam, Mainpuri, Marathi, Oriya, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, and Urdu. And FOSS has been certified by Linux Foundation. Barriers to mass adoption and the role of the providers is open source software has become widely popular, but not all organizations have yet to use it. That made us to have this program today by none other than Mr. M.R. Rajagopalan, is the former director of the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, Chennai, of Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, Government of India, New Delhi. He has over 30 years of experience in the IT field. In the Ministry of Communications IT, Government of India, he had been associated with the conceptualization and setting up of appropriate automation promotion program centers under the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. As the coordinator of Indo-EEC, transputer-based computer performance instrumentation and control systems project, and he is the director of e-governance division. His research interests included development of track monitoring system of Indian Railways, distributed hierarchical control systems for process industries, real-time systems, and was involved in the design, development, and implementation of SCADA system for power grid, public sector undertakings like SAIL, NTPC. He was also the visiting fellow to the universities of Purdue, USA, Berlin, Germany, and Liverpool, UK. Mr. Rajagopalan was working as the director CDAC Chennai and head National Resource Center for Free and Open Source Software from November 2003 till 2013. During this period, he was involved in the development and promotion of Bharat operating systems and solutions and open source cloud platform Meghdut. Currently, his research interest includes architecting cloud models for e-governance and IoT platforms. Today, he will talk about the free and open source software adoption and business model. Mr. Rajagopalan, over to you.
Good morning and thank you, Professor Moni. Let me take this opportunity also to thank Shobit University to give me this opportunity of presenting a talk on FOSS adoption and business model. It has been long, almost 20-25 years since I was associated with Professor Moni in NIC, and then we forked like in free and open source software into Department of Electronics, and he was in NIC. Thank you, Professor Moni. Let me start my presentation. Okay, good morning to all of you. In today's talk, I'll be giving how we have evolved the Indian FOSS ecosystem, the setting up of a National Resource Center for FOSS, and adoption of business model. How do we go about promoting FOSS in our country? All this started in the year 2002 or 3, when the then Knowledge Commission proposed that India should use free and open source software to promote digital to promote digitization across India in all walks of life. So this was some of the summary why FOSS for India, which was some of the findings that committee mentioned. What are the advantages that we have for India? The first thing, if we go for free and open source software, is localization. Most of the software that we have been using in various forms did not support the local conditions, especially in India, where we have about 28 official languages plus other dialects. So that was one major reason that these products which we are getting as software products from multinational companies didn't support that, so that the penetration of computers into various fields was difficult at that time. Then the security is an important issue. Open source provides a good amount of security. Not only security, any loopholes which are found could be attended to immediately by all these people who are involved in the development of the software. And open standards, interoperability, freedom from vendor lock-in, all these were advantages. Freedom from piracy. At those days, most of the people, maybe 20-25% definitely would have been using the pirated software, and that was a worry. Then savings in foreign exchange, if we go in for free and open source software, better bargaining position, lower cost of the products. So I will be talking about how we achieve some of these. Then broad-based local service support. Then opportunity to develop low-cost domestic products is an important thing. Then reliability or stability through faster bug fixing. That is, in case we find a bug, the community will get involved and fix the bug faster than a proprietary software vendor. We don't even know when they will fix it. So what are the advantages for India in adopting this? Sharing and collaboration among the developers. This Professor Moni also mentioned all this. Services, support and maintenance, competitive products, services and bundling, lower cost of end products and services, then IT consumption, especially bridging the digital divide, lower entry barrier for domestic industry. Then availability of source code, source R&D and high quality manpower development. Now, as Professor Moni mentioned, that earlier I was working with railways on some projects. Right from that time, I was looking at sharing the code so that our product development becomes faster, and also the quality of development will be much better. So this is the philosophy that I have been following over the 30 years over various projects that I have implemented. So I can show you one interesting thing that we did for Research and Development Standards Organization of Railways. This is a track monitoring car. This was developed somewhere around 84. You can see on the left side, there is a trolley and a man sitting on that and two people pushing the trolley. This is how we maintain the track condition. So he will be having a bucket of water, and the vibrations, seeing that vibration in that water, he'll be able to tell what is the condition of the track. That is the first manual method of inspection. And subsequently, it went through different stages. And somewhere around 84, we came out with this first microprocessor-based track monitoring system. Now here the point that I want to make is, when we started this project with all the sensors and all, it all went fine and it was accepted by the railways and was deployed in the 7 divisions of the railway at that point of time. Now, based on this, a number of these engineers, they came out with suggestion, why can't we develop a few more products? So at that time, all this analytics, what you are seeing here, like a statistical analysis, then frequency analysis, all these things were packaged as a library and then given to the engineers. So they can start from that. They need not again get into development of all these analytical tools once more. And within a span of 2 years, they came out with 5 products and useful for them. So this is the advantage that you will get once we make available the source code, encouraging the Indian organizations to arrive at the new products, reinventing no reinventing of the wheel, and take advantage of FOSS-based solutions. So our mission was to foster an ecosystem for open source, open standards, and open systems in India. Towards this, here you have already mentioned about Open Technology Center that NIC set up under Dr. Balasubramanian. So they came out with the specification for open standards and open technology for the e-governance side, and the National Resource Center for Free and Open Source software was set up at the same time to deal with open source. So the Indian ecosystem, what we did at that time was, once this project got going, so we said that for ecosystem, we should have certain verticals defined, like small and medium enterprise, e-governance, embedded systems, education, etc., health. So all these verticals were singled out, and a small group of people who were interested in these verticals were enabled so that they can form a team. And then we went ahead with setting up of this National Resource Center for Free and Open Source. I will come to that. Now, the enabling factor for this, as I said, Indian language and security was the main enabling factor. And below the technology and tools that one can go about is like operating systems, servers, middleware, developer tools, office tools and applications, backend databases, and so on and so forth for learning management systems and all. Then the software which at that time which was prevalent. This is about I'm talking 15 years back, 20 years back. So NRCFOSS was set up with the objectives to promote the collaborative research, design, development, and training of manpower. So associated with this NRCFOSS was several institutions, like you mentioned, IITs. Then we had Anna University AUKBC Center, who was our main arm in promoting and developing the human resource part of the open source. In fact, they came out in the later stages with an MSc in free and open source software. That was the first, as far as I remember, the first online course designed by Anna University and given. And the people who are in the industry can join that course as a part-timer and get a MSc degree in free and open source software. Then encouraged the development of application under FOSS and service-oriented architectural framework and government environment. Generic, robust middleware on OSS, which will be relevant for e-governance domain. Cooperate and collaborate with national and international institutions We had, as we started NRCFOSS, we had a tie-up with Asia Pacific UNDP, and who recognized us and gave us to focus on the South Asian countries. So, as a part of the international open source network, we were asked to take care of promoting the open source in this region. Then to bring together evangelist players, industrial players to contribute towards the FOSS movement. So we had to get not only the human resource or educational part of it, but we also have to get some industry players to involve in this. Then organize symposia, conference, annual meet was also there. Then research and reference library to be kept in pursuance, so that the people who wanted to know about the open source specific projects, they should be able to come to one single point. So that's how the National Resource Center for Free and Open Source Software was set up. Now, coming to this, I am now getting into what will we do under NRCFOSS. As a first step, being in CDAC, CDAC has a very, very strong language computing group, and we made use of that language computing group. Then we also had good software development group, which was working for some of the e-governance project in Maharashtra. So with these two strengths that we had, we thought we'll let us go with the development of a product which will have a large user base and big adoption capability. So thinking about that, we thought let us concentrate on the operating system itself, because once we get into operating system and deploy it, it will be in millions. And so that in open source software, as you know, the monetary benefits are less. So unless you think about a large scale, their earning potential will be less. So this, the first operating system, BOSS, this is now what I am projecting is the 8th version. 8th version of the Bharat operating system solution. The main important feature is the desktop. That is a Cinnamon desktop, which has a lot of support for supporting major browsers like Firefox and Chrome. Then the kernel with all integrated drivers. The LibreOffice was integrated with this operating system. The operating system was based on Debian, and we customized that Debian with the IndicLab language support and other drivers which are required. When we started, the device driver was one of the issue. And that is where the Open Technology Center helped us in inviting all these manufacturers to support Linux driver, whatever they are manufacturing, like printers and other peripherals. The repository of around 57,000 application packages available with that. And say major security enhancement, default secure boot UEFI. Then inbuilt mandatory access control for restricting program controls. Plug and print, that is driverless cups. This is the technology today. Most of the printer manufacturer, they don't supply the driver. Instead, they will have a driverless cups inside their system itself, so that we don't have to If you have a mobile device, you can't have drivers for every printer that you are interacting. Is the Indic language support, so you can have whatever language that you want on that. I will just show our struggle of deploying this, convincing the user and asking them to use desktop. So a small video I'm presenting here, just a 2 minutes video. See, a lot of the applications you were using only the browser. This was deployed in Palghat area, where NIC helped us in deploying this and customizing that. Their main interest was in the local language Malayalam, so that is why they chose FOSS for all their daily needs. So you can see some of their application running on FOSS. These are all browser-based applications. Straight away, it was they were able to run it on FOSS. You can see the Indic language support on that. It's a Malayalam. So if you think, if all the government departments, because their day-to-day operations are basically the office and presentation tool and browsers, FOSS will very well be suited for such an environment, and one can think how much of savings we will get. It will run into thousands of crore. Just if you deploy it for banking application, banks again use only the browser-based system. So FOSS can be deployed there. So all the bank front end, where every bank has got about 20-25 systems. So we can think how many pieces we can deploy FOSS, resulting into savings of thousands of crores. 800 crores was the projected at that time. So the business model involved was training and certification, like Red Hat used to do earlier days of promoting FOSS. So this is how we have to generate the businesses. Generate a large user base. Any product that, as I told you, any product, FOSS-based product, because it is open source, our profit margin will be very less. So unless you have a critical mass, the business model will not support that. Then came the different licensing model, like LGPL, lesser GPL, then open core and hybrid licensing. Today, most of the IoT platform, like we use a lot of smart devices, like smart water meters, smart energy meters. They make only the sensor. If they use the OSS IoT platform, you get straight away, you get all the analytical tools that are available on that platform, and directly a product is there. So these are all various ways where we can do licensing and do the business commercially. The other product that we designed was Meghdut Cloud Suite. We evolved through different phases, and now the latest one is based on OpenStack. OpenStack is now very popular, and there are a few commercial vendors for OpenStack based cloud where they customize the front ends. So what we are offering there is the implementation management operation. That's the front end part of it. High degree of customization and enhancement. Basically, high availability modules like we were talking about containers and all. So high availability means in case a system or a container fails, you should be able to immediately switch over to another container which is on a hot standby mode, similar to disaster recovery centers. So most of this cloud infrastructure will have a disaster recovery centers, and within the same cloud we can have a high availability modules. So as I said, we started collaborating with OpenStack Foundation, and then they have now authorized us as a consultant integrated for this Asia Pacific region, and consulting, integration, operation, support and development. Then certification program, OpenStack administrator, integrator, solution architect. These are all the things that we can offer. And that is some revenue earning coming through this. In addition to that, we deploy the cloud infrastructure for our customers. So there are some of the customers of cloud as well as BOSS. BOSS has got, we have made around 5.2 million deployments, an indirect savings of 500 crore. If you see your OS today cost around 7,000 to 8,000 rupees, and Office cost you another 4,000 to 5,000 rupees. So here everything is free. Our charges will be only on support, customization and training, which is resulting in about 4 crore annual revenue earning for this center. So not only saving for the country, but also generating revenue to support the center itself. Our main customers for BOSS is a few are sporadic, as I showed in e-governance, and a major part of it is also in the schools. We have a lot of 4 variants of BOSS, like educational BOSS, server, the normal desktop environment, like that 4 variants. And highly customized BOSS with a high security feature is given to our service sectors like Indian Navy, Army. Then we had deployed this BOSS on Bharat Electronics tablet that is again meant for defense application. So that has got again a lot of customization in terms of security angle. Then IDRBT is IFTAS is RBI's R&D unit in Hyderabad, where we have deployed our cloud infrastructure for banks' back-end applications. So that is running. Again, we have provided manpower there to take care of 24/7 operations. Tamil Nadu government in the state data center, 4 applications are running on our cloud, managed by the people. Then DRDO, we are now working with them on customization of the operating system itself. Then Defense Service Staff College, that are all human resource promotion and development there. Then some universities tie up on this side. Now, how do I get started with, for all those who are newcomers to open source, if you want to get involved in the community development, how do I go about it? So there are a lot of places where one can look for open source software. So SourceForge is one like that. So if you go to sourceforge.net, you will get a variety of software catering to open source ERP, CRM solutions, KM, knowledge management solutions, blockchain, then big data, all these, there are community who are developing that. We can pick up from that. To get involved with that community, you have to slowly go take up some module, do some bug fixing to start with. And once they get confident, they will involve you with the various groups. And that's how we get involved with the open source community as such. From the business perspective, you can take up any one of those packages and customize and market, give support and marketing for those kind of packages. Like Odoo is an open source ERP CRM package. Today is very, very popular. So one can get involved with that, and a lot of this small and medium enterprise needs such a software. So that is one way of looking into getting involved with the open source development or open source businesses. As Professor Moni mentioned, after a lot of struggle, in 2015, DIT agreed to have a policy on collaborative application development by opening the source code of government application. Way back in 1998, when I was a director in the e-governance division of Department of Electronics, I suggested that all these applications, we can put it in a CD and give it to different departments. They can use it. For example, simple applications like finance, your salary packages for internal operations, and some of the e-governance applications which are public oriented, like registration department and all. These are all almost standard across the different states, except for a few variations in the whatever laws of that state is concerned. But basically, most of them will be similar. So if they had done that, probably we could have come out with a much faster implementation of e-governance program. But anyhow, now, as late as 2015, they've thought about opening all the e-governance application, and people who want to join and develop, they can do. See, this is one way of larger companies, multinational companies. They bring their source code of their outdated application to and make it open source, so that people will understand and maybe contribute more from that software, whatever you are opening it out. So we'll know what is the design and what are the criteria that they have followed. Though the technology may be different, your software are all every day new things are coming up. So the OpenForge, the objectives are to provide a platform for maintaining the code, repositories and version control for government source, promote culture of operative collaboration, development between public agencies and private organizations, citizen and institutions. So once you have the source code, people can get involved in that. A lot of people have good suggestions which can be incorporated, and we can try it out with the newer software platforms like RBase and all. Then reduce the development cycle, since already a lot of work has gone into that. So all that expertise is available now, so that you can quickly come out with a much better variety of application. Then deliver e-governance services and solution. reduce the governance project cost. Once you have a code reuse available, you will the development cost can come down. So I will end up my talk here, and any questions or anybody has got anything, they can talk. Professor Moni. See, when we went for this productization, we went through the complete chain of marketing, promoting, and even advertising. Based on this advertisement only, we got some good customer like Navy, Army, and this Kerala State Development Center. So this advertisement was released on various news channels and TV channels.
Extremely exposed GNU Linux with a never-before 3D desktop. It's a system available in all major Indian languages, with also technology supporting various government applications. ये भारत की शान है, दुनिया में पहचान है। ये भारत की शान है, दुनिया में पहचान है। Bharat Operating System Solutions forms GNU Linux, the first Indianized operating system.
Yes, Professor Moni. So I have completed the talk. I can't hear you. Good.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rajagopalan, who has delivered a very important address to the audience. And it is very important in the sense that this is with respect to adoption and also the business aspect. He talked about the complete value chain which they have undertaken, and especially from the government side, with the total collaboration with various higher educational institutions such as IITs and various CDAC research institutions and Anna University and so on and so forth. You talked about the National Research Center on Open Source was the recommendation of the erstwhile Knowledge Commission way back in 2003. At that time, it was headed by our former President of India, and that time he was the principal scientific advisor to Government of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam. And his vision and his initiatives are all becoming the reality, now during the last 15 years. And you also talked about why free and open source software in India and how it is advantageous to India, wherein you have talked about the need for high quality manpower development and research and development. Your association with Open Source Foundation, association with UNDP for promotion of Asia Pacific region are all worthy in nature and to be noted with care. And you also talked about Indian ecosystem and software applications, e-governance applications, embedded systems, and also its education systems, and so on and so forth. And you listed about very comprehensive enabling factors by naming out the availability of various technologies and tools under the Bharat operating systems or solutions net. And it is also very nice to know from you that in collaboration with Anna University, also an online course at a PG postgraduate level, MSc on free and open source software has been initiated for the benefit of industry people, personnel, to learn and take credentials at the level of Masters in Science program. This country, we got about 4,500 engineering colleges who teach computer science and so on and so forth, and also about 22,000 non-engineering colleges who teach computer science. And why this talk was initiated under Atamnirbhar Bharat was that there is a concern that India has not developed sufficient human resources in the area of open source technology. Even though India has emerged as a superpower in IT, and if you go to any MNCs, you can see the Indians working over there, both in India and abroad. They are also heading MNCs and doing a very great contributions to the world. So now it is the right time that's the reason only, as the person who was involved in e-governance applications for the last 40 years, starting from 512 districts computerization way back in 87 under the program district. In that time, we even attempted developing software solutions using Unix and the tools available in Unix for the district software, district plan software, and various other sectoral applications. And now some of the people who worked on district plan software using open source tools available at that time under Unix are all now CEOs and promoting open source technology in a very big manner. And one such person is Keshav Tirupati, based in Bhubaneswar. He is the CEO of Nirmalaya Labs. He is doing very well in open source technology tools. And I'm also very happy to note that this is the time that the lot of certification programs in the under the category of diplomas and PG diploma on Bharat open source solutions, that is on BOSS and Megdut cloud platforms, have to be announced, made available to the youths of this country. And this is very important, and that's where from the Soviet University, through its centers of excellence, that is a Center for Informatics Development, Solutions and Applications, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications, and and these four centers, we would like to promote open source solutions in a very big manner, and we would like to get associated with all the research institutions to promote human resources development and also appropriate startup for rural youths. All the four centers of excellence in the Soviet University, it's around focusing on agricultural sector and rural development through technology adoption. And since I was instrumental in promoting IT and agriculture from 1995 onwards, and also involved in associated with the doubling the farmers' income by 2022 for writing chapters on digital technology in agriculture and suggesting 7 mission mode projects for bringing in digital technology in agriculture. the availability of open source software, availability of open source operating system, availability of associated device drivers, availability of open source cloud platform are very important to make India self-reliant is an Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is the reason only now we have, designed to run this international webinar series under the title Open Source Digital Technology Towards Self-Reliant India to talk on, the open infrastructure, open systems, open source software for open infrastructure, open hardware for open infrastructure, and human resources development and startups. So rural India is very important. Rural youth have to be brought into mainstream. And that's why when our Honorable Prime Minister announced the Atmanirbhar Bharat with 5 intents and 5 pillars, is put it that, one of the 5 pillars is that vibrant demography. And great strength of demand and supply chain. And even in agriculture sector, we have recommended about digitally enabled 400 agriculture commodity value chain. And agricultural ordinance, which have been brought on 5th June 2020, is the biggest game changer and reforms for agricultural sector. And there can be umpteen number of agri startups, at least one in every panchayat, gram panchayat, it amounting to 2.5 gram panchayat level startups with open source technology to help 14 crores operation holders involved in agricultural operations in the country, and to promote, agriculture, promote 400, digitally enabled, commodity value chain. So this is an enormous, and I am very happy that these products which you talked about, that FOSS and MacBook, have been deployed majorly in defense organizations. And even in a district administration, you have shown the video, which is operationalized at Palakkad, which was considered as the first e-governance district, first financial inclusion district in the country. And it is a very progressive district in the country. And I'm also able to see my, former colleague, the district, informatic officer, talking, in the video. And this is a very important, topic for our rural youths. And you also given the guidance that the students, the rural youths, have to be trained on various applications which are available in SourceForge.net and also, OpenForge.net. This is a very important thing. Now all policy guidelines are available. How to work on the open, opening the source code of the applications which are available under the e-governance platform. And this is the biggest, opportunities for 4,500 engineering colleges, more than 22,000 non-engineering colleges who teach computer science, in all other, universities, deemed universities, and universities both in public sector and private sector, to make their students not only, the engineering and students, all science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and management discipline students. To soil their hands. There is a proverb which used to be told to us that until and unless you soil your hand, you cannot mold the house. When rain stops, the kids used to run to the streets to mold the home with the wet sand on their feet. And some other kid will come and demolish it. That's how they used to, play. I remember that once Professor Nag, the former director of IIT Mumbai, said it in a planning commission meeting chaired by our former Prime Minister of India, at that time he was the Vice Chairman, Deputy Planning Commission, and he said it in his presence. He said it, unless we soil our hand, we cannot mold our house. It is that we have to develop pattern. It is that is in, I think it is 1986, I believe, that I also attended that meeting, and this is through this open source. It gives an opportunity for us to develop umpteen number of patterns as possible for our applications in 22 constitutionally recognized Indian languages. The new education policy, NEP 2020, talks about large-scale application of technology for as a part of a pedagogy to teach the students in all their mother tongue, in all the languages of India, and also some of the noted foreign languages. So it is the right time that there is an NEP 2020 which has been announced by the central government, which has given a lot of intent, and open source technology has to be given added power and strength and support, not only to the public sector universities, but also to the private sector universities and to the centers of excellence, such as Center for Informatics Development Solutions Applications, which has been established by the Soviet Institute of Engineering Technology, Meerut. So thank you very much, Mr. Rajagopalan, for your very innovative talk. And to summarize once again, I would like to read out the theme.
Doctor, I would like to make a suggestion
I read it out, the abstract of what you have put it. Free and open source software has gained momentum in recent years. Your talk has very clearly brought out. Development in this field have produced a major impact on the nature of information systems, which is very vital for any society. Further, the field has assumed great importance in handling strategic resources such as government information. Open source software is increasingly viewed as a means of providing cost-effective e-governance. You touched all those points. However, the main concern of the government have been the cost, the support, the interoperability, and secured related issues. Open source software is seen as a viable alternative while addressing these issues. Hence, many countries today are ready and exploiting the benefits of open source software by framing policies, encouraging the use of open source software wherever is possible. To ensure best value for its investment for Atamnirbhar Bharat, government needs to take a critical decision on whether to adopt proprietary software or free and open source software, or a combination of both, based on application towards achieving this Atamnirbhar Bharat. We will look into, you said that you will look into two products which you talked about, FOSS, Bharat Operating Systems and Solutions, and Magdut Cloud Platform, promoted by the National Resource Center on Free and Open Source of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. With the availability of sophisticated software expertise becoming more widespread, it is no more felt that only large corporations can guarantee quality and robust technologies and solutions. This is particularly the case with India, where we have proven expertise of higher order in this domain. It is also to be noted that even large corporations like IBM, Oracle, SAP, and Microsoft, etc., are also positioning themselves to take advantages of this super technology for their own business. There are three vital elements of the successful Atamnirbhar Bharat self-reliant India strategy for adopting free and open source software. You said it. First is a critical mass, which you have created 5.2 million installation. Second is a correct policy orientation. And the third is having options in all critical areas of technology. So as I said it, I discussed with you earlier, I am interested and my university is interested to create at least a strength of about 3,000 youths to work on research and development, at least 100 from each state and union territories, put together 3,000 to work on research and development in open source software solutions in India, that is under the category FOSS and MacBook. Mr. Rajagopalan.
It's somewhere we are merging together. The educational BOSS version has been deployed in most of the state government schools, especially here, 6,000 schools in Tamil Nadu. There is all networked through a central server. Then in Punjab, Haryana, and then Orissa, Maharashtra, they are all going to deploy that. Punjab and Haryana is already there. Then Orissa and Maharashtra probably are going ahead with that. So what is happening is, right from grassroots level, you have some FOSS orientation. And in the middle level, like you said, you have so many colleges and 3,000 people to be trained in the university level. I think is the right time so that we plug in all the gaps in achieving this adoption framework. Once at the grassroots level and then at the college level, once you introduce, I think it will automatically percolate upwards. So that's a real good thing, and I will see that at least the CDAC Center collaborates with your university to further the goal of promoting this in the universities.
Thank you very much, and I think I will request Mr. Rajagopalan to get associated with the center of the university, Center for Informatics Development, Solutions and Applications, to propagate this mission, through objectives and aims. And we are very lucky today to have this very wonderful and educative lecture from you, and we have to move on the open source technology, based on which the country have to generate a lot of patents, lot of IPRs, and we have to develop various adoption models and business models, which has to be the top priority. And the role of higher education institutions and schools, it's very important, and CIDA has done wonderful development, and also the National Informatics Center through its open technology centers, and various other Indian Institute of Technologies and National Institute of Technologies and IIITs. And now the efforts have to be organized, and we have to see the large scale return on investment. And to meet one of the three pillars or three intents of our Honorable Prime Minister, which he has mentioned in his announcement of Atamnirbhar, one is on quantum jump. It's a quantum jump. It is on economy. It means that we have to create the critical mass. That is more important. And second one is that our industry has to represent modern India. So how open source technology, how the investment which has gone into open source technology through policy options, through research options, through development options, through deployment options, through human resources development options, and through bridging the gaps in development of resources for Digital India, Make in India, Startup India, Stand Up India, and then even projecting vocal for local to global. there are some of the things, it is an ecosystem which are all emerging in a very big manner, and which we should take advantages of that. Previously, when you talked about, when I brought out the district information system of NI's district project documents, we talked about database development and 28 sectoral. If the database development would have been developed as per the plan which is given in 1987, today application of blockchain technology in e-governance would have been very easy. See, on those time we talked about information systems. We brought out used unit, tools through Talkspace and so on and so forth, which is one of the units, and then talked about 28 sectoral database development and comprehensive village level information system. And if database would have been available with respect to each village and each sectoral, today application of blockchain technology would have been very easy. Interoperability and integration of various databases very easy. Today we talk about the open data platform. Next Saturday at the same time, 11:30, we will be having a very important talk on open data platform. Once again, by the Deputy Director General, from Madam Alka Mishra from National Informatics Center. She is a veteran in this field. She will be talking about it. So, and open source is a vision for us, is a mission for us, and also it is an aim and objective, and it is our responsibility to build up our rural youths to get into the 5 pillars and the 5 intent. So thank you very much, Mr. Rajagopalan, and for agreeing to address through the this platform. This is a co-learning, which is a Soviet University initiative, and it is supported by Indian Education Network and the Federation of Educational and Skill Entrepreneurs, PESE, of Soviet University. And this talk was live from 11:30 onwards through the Facebook. And I thank you once again, and good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will